Welcome to another Pirkei Avot shiur. We are on chapter 4, Mishna 8, and we'd like to dedicate this Mishna in memory of Levy ben Moshe Esther and Elisheva Yael ben Levy, and also in memory of Moshe ben Binyamin. Okay, over to Michael.
Thank you, Moshe. So, in this Mishnah, we are introduced to the teachings of Rabbi Yosef, whose full name Rabbi Yosef ben Chalafta. This Tana of the 2nd century belonged to a distinguished family that originally migrated back from Bovel. The son of a noted sage, the head of the Beis Din in his native Sepharis, he was one of Rabbi Akiva's 5 last and most important pupils, who came to be called the Restorers of the Law. This same select group received rabbinic ordination from Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava during the persecutions by Hadrian, an act which cost Rabbi Yehuda his life, although his disciples escaped. One of Rabbi Yosef's most famous students was Rabbi Yehuda Hanossi, which included in the Mishnah many halachot in his name. A master of Agadah, which is ethical teachings or moral tales, he was also extremely systematic, and thus is regarded as the author or editor of the Seder Olam Rabbah, the chronological history from creation to the time of Hadrian. Many ethical maxims of his are recorded in both the Mishnah and Gemara. Opposed to controversy, he sought to find a systematic way of deciding between the conflicting teachings of the school of Hillel and Shammai. He was apparently a good tanner by trade, and the proud father of 5 sons, noteworthy scholars in their own right. So, what does this Mishnah say? This Mishnah starts, Rabbi Yosef Omer, Rabbi Yosef said, Kol ha-machabed Torah gufo mechuvad al habrios. He who honors the Torah will himself be honored by people. V'chol ha-machalel et ha-Torah, but whoever dishonors the Torah, gufo mechulal al habrios, he himself will be dishonored by people. So let's have a look at the commentary on this Mishnah by Rav Chaim of Volozhin, and he quotes about anyone who honors the Torah will be honored by people. The evil inclination might approach a Torah scholar and say, as a Torah scholar, you represent the Torah. It is important to wear stylish clothing to show respect for the Torah. Besides, if you don't dress well, nobody will accept your teachings. You need to start a business so you can afford a nice wardrobe. Did not Rav Yochanan refer to his clothing as my honor? This we learn from Shabbos 1138. Rabbi Yossi provides us with an answer. If someone desecrates the Torah, he himself is disgraced, and the fanciest clothing will not hide his shame. If someone honors Torah, he himself is honored, and nice clothing is not required to enhance his image. The word chilul, to desecrate, can be rendered as replace. This terminology has a similar use in chilul ma'aser, the redemption of tithes, where the sanctity of the produce is transferred to a coin. The money replaces the produce. If someone replaces his Torah study with unnecessary material pursuits, gufo mechulal al habrios, he himself will replace others. In this case, the righteous who were destined to suffer will be relieved of their troubles, and he will take their place. So that's Rav Chaim of Volozhin. And there's some further ideas, concepts. We look at the Mishnah's text. It says, Chol ha-machabed et Torah gufo mechubad al habrios. His body will be honored if he honors the Torah. Well, let's look at that. It's interesting that when a great scholar walks into a Beis Midrash or shul, we stand up for him. We stand up for his body. You know, his physical presence there is something that is admired and honoured. This is very important to note. Also, we are taught by Rambam in Hilchot Deot of the importance, first of all, of not having stained clothing. This is very, very important. I'll refer to it later on. But Rambam made a list of various physical things. First of all, you have to physically be aware of your body. You have to keep it in tip-top condition. You can't be gluttonous, a person, and be a Talmud Chacham. The two are not. You have to look after your physical body first. Also, he mentioned about your clothes shouldn't have fat stains on them. This is important. You have to have respect for your Talmud Chacham. You're an example. You shouldn't have any physical appearance that would be a Chilul Hashem. There's another thing. He says, Kol ha'mechabed et Torah gufo mechobed al habrios. Al habrios refers to all creatures. So let's look back to this. There was a comparison between the order of creation. So if the human arriving last, as we remember, when heaven and earth were created, first came vegetation, then trees, then fish, then birds and animals, and only on the day before Shabbos the man was created. So Hashem will remind him, if he gets too conceited, that the flea preceded you in the order of creation. This we learn in Sanhedrin 38 Amud Aleph. So what a man has to first of all live up to what is his potential before he is put in ahead of so-called charter members of creation. The flea was ahead of him in honor. So man has the chance to elevate himself above the other creations. This is perhaps some a word play in this Mishnah, and finally there is Abarbanel. Don Isaac Abarbanel sees another emphasis. A man who honors the Torah by studying it until he is deemed a scholar should see to it himself that his body is in turn honored by people. The Torah scholar has a special obligation, because people associate him with holy things, to constantly present a faultless physical appearance. It is unbecoming, almost tantamount to Chilul Hashem, for a scholar or yeshiva student to appear unkempt or in untidy clothing. The Talmud warns that that any scholar on whose clothes there is a greasy stain deserves death. This we learn in Gemara Shabbat 114 Amud Aleph. He who honors the Torah and would continue to bring it honor should be careful with his gufo, his physical appearance.
Wow, I think that really ties in with what I've been talking about the past few months about maintaining a sensible diet, looking after your appearance, taking exercise. You can still learn Torah while you're exercising. So, yeah, very good. It's nice to hear it in the words of the Pirkei Avot. Anyway, Michael, thank you so much for that. Next time we convene, Bezrat Hashem, we will be talking about one of the sons of Rabbi Yossi, who is Rabbi Shmuel. Okay, until then, have a wonderful and blessed week.